How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk about Tahaad Pettiford. I see people asking for it, and he's one of my favorite prospects in the draft. So we're just going to walk through some of his offensive possessions and talk about my central question for Pettiford, which is like, how does he overcome the pitfalls of small guards? Because he is a small guard. Auburn generously lists him at 6'1". I'd like to see the combine measurement if he ends up keeping his name in the draft, but Pettiford is a really interesting player because he's so damn good at everything despite his size. Anticipatory passer. I mean, this defender has his head turned. Pettiford's throwing to a spot, and his big man is able to go up and finish here because Pettiford granted him good position early in the play. And we're just going to kind of live scout, try to figure out my thoughts on Pettiford stream of consciousness style. So like, subscribe, comment if you're into this content. It really helps the algorithm. And man, Pettiford, if there's one thing about him, his handle is ridiculous. Like, spin move here to create space, stop, start, in and out. Like, he's so quick and can change speeds and directions really easily. I do wish he shot. Yeah. I mean, I feel like his size is always going to be limiting at the rim. I think he shot like 50% at the rim this year. And when he has like chances to take layups, he'll often try to make these tough passes. And this is a really difficult pass that gets through, but I would say that's fairly lucky on Pettiford's part. So his risk taking can definitely work out because he's a very good passer and he's a smart passer and he has good vision and he has good, hand-eye coordination and all that stuff. But Pettiford drilling a three right here. He is an incredible shooter as well. Deep range, shoots off of movement, shoots off of the dribble. High volume, efficient shooting on and off of the dribble this year. So just like a really effective shooter, which obviously you're going to need to be a small guard who thrives in the league. Beautiful. Yeah, he's a hooper. He is absolutely a hooper. Pulls up early in offense, doesn't end up making that, but he is a very good three-point shooter here. And we're going to see Pettiford get to the rim and drop in a right-handed floater. It doesn't go in, but one of the things we're going to notice about Pettiford is like he is one of the most ambidextrous. He probably is the most ambidextrous player in the class. Like, he so regularly uses his right hands for these floaters to dribble with, to pass with, and I hope we get some good ambidextrous Pettiford moments in this game so I don't look like a fool. But I promise you, he is a right-handed demon, and he's going to end up getting fouled right there. I think that, again, adds to the checkbox, right, of things that he's going to need to be as a small guard, right? He's going to have to be able to go both ways. Defenses are going to have to now be able to take him away going to one side. And Pettiford, just good little handoff three right there. Obviously, playing in Auburn's offense is helpful. Great spacing, playing with great bigs and wings, and just a generally like well-organized offense. But I think, Pettiford adds to that with his really impressive shooting ability. Gonna call a play here, get to another pull-up and drain that one. I mean, he's just such a good off-dribble shooter. And this is obviously poor screen defense. But Pettiford's gonna need to be a dynamic, efficient, high-volume shooter to make it work at the NBA level. And I do think he's that player. And look at how Mark Sears is guarding him. Just like completely face guarding, denying him. That's how much they respect him as a shooter, despite coming off the bench for this Auburn team. And you can see why, right? Like, this deny doesn't work, obviously. Jedi Broom screens off Sears. The Grant Nelson just does not stay up on the handoff. Sears can't recover. Like, that's too much space for a shooter of Tahaad Pettiford's quality. And obviously Alabama knew that. They were trying to stop it, and they still couldn't. And of course, yeah, this is going to be the foundation. But Pettiford is quick. He can get to the rim, but the finishing is going to be the obstacle, right? Tries the inside hand scoop, and that's like a pretty decent look. Not so contested, but still, tough shot, moving forward at high speeds, can't scoop it in. And always the fear with these shorter guards, right? It's just being able to, one, get downhill. I think Pettiford definitely can get downhill, but being able to finish once he's there. I like that Pettiford has a lot of experience playing as an off-ball player already, and beautiful play regardless of bucket right there. But he's already experienced, playing as a movement shooter, as an off-ball guy in these sets, coming off handoffs. He's not just like an ISO pick-and-roll guy, and great little hesitation, puts his defender in jail. LeBaron Philon, another prospect who I like a lot, gets a pretty good look at the mid-range pull-up. Like, such an adept shot creator. at this level, it hasn't bothered him. And of course, at the NBA level, athletes are a different beast, but what a beautiful move. And just, this is the story. Your classic Tahaad Pettiford clip uses the screen, just disgusting spin move right there, and keeps his balance too. Like, he is almost like, this is not a good position to be in. Mark Sears was ripping this ball, but Pettiford snatches it. Like, look at, he's basically like sitting down in a chair, spins around, and then just gets destroyed by the rim protector. But I'm a sucker for these advantage creator types who are as skilled and consistent at getting to their spots as Pettiford, because they don't need to be as good at shot making as the guys who can't, right? Who have to be tough shot makers. And I think Pettiford has the skill set to be like an easy advantage creator, going to end up getting a nice free assist from his buddy Miles Kelly right there. Definitely going to be some of those in Auburn's offense. But again, we see the burst, and then we see, this is probably like the third clip in this set where Pettiford blows by his defender, gets to the rim, and then isn't able to convert the play. Where I love the beginning, right? Pettiford easily beats Mark Sears' baseline, draws the defense, and I think he's right in his read, but I just don't like how. I just wish he made a quicker decision here. Like, ball out, right? Ball out, either lay down to Johnson, kick to Baker Mazzaro, but tries to like hang in the air and scoop it around, and allows Jaren Stevenson right here to make a nice play on the ball. It's definitely a great defensive play, but can see some potential, decision-making, processing stuff that, a lot of freshmen struggle with. And sometimes I've talked about the importance of, like, volume and shot versatility for projecting shooting at the next level. And Pettiford just, like, passes those tests with flying colors, is taking NBA difficulty shots on and off the ball all the time, and is pretty efficient in doing them. So, yeah, I mean, shouldn't be a surprise that, oh my goodness, beautiful play right here. And you can see how deadly he's going to be in the open floor. Stop on a dime. Good vision here. No looks it away, right? He's pointing his head this way. 3 defenders just ignored Dylan Cardwell running behind them for a wide open dunk in transition. Like, that's all Pettiford's manipulation. And he's an excellent player in the pick and roll. He does that in the half court too, which maybe we'll get to see in this game as well. But yeah, you can just see Pettiford's diverse offensive skill set, even on the negative plays. Like, there's another beautiful righty floater. Too quick for this, like, bad drop, right, where Phylon isn't a great screen defender. Broom cuts him off. Nelson has no real chance playing between two, and just gets to his little right-handed floater. Like, he does have really good touch. I wouldn't say he has, like, special touch or anything. Like, I think of a guy like Trey or Maxey or even like a Rob Dillingham probably had better touch than Pettiford. But Pettiford's touch is quite good, and I think his ability to use his weak hands amplifies that, right? Just because he has access to a lot of shots that players don't have. And holy shit, I haven't seen these clips. I haven't seen these games. Did he put the goggles on? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Again, just like terrible drop defense by Alabama here, but gets him in the air. And this is what I mean, like, the highlights are really great because Pettiford gets himself into these high difficulty situations, like hanging in the air. We've seen like 1 or 2 plays where this did not end well, but oh my goodness, the vision, the wraparound, like, so skilled, so much passing talent, even if his like decision making and processing and stuff aren't all that refined. Like, just has a clear ability to like make plays for others, and gonna get fouled on the 3-pointer there. So yeah, I think we'll do maybe 1 or 2 more game sets right here, but good little basic pocket pass to Broom. Again, this is a pretty piss poor defensive effort on a lot of these plays. We're going to overtime. It's cool that I just like didn't watch a bunch of these games, so I don't even remember who won. But anyways, Pettiford sizing up Mark Sears right here. Very rare to see him have like ball handling related turnovers, which I think is a valuable thing. Like, Sears gets into his body, he's stronger, he's bigger, he's more physical, able to keep the ball like even while losing balance, and isn't going to score right here because again, we talk about the finishing is just what does he do, where he has Broom open in the corner. That's probably the correct play, right? Is just to skip it over to Broom in the corner. But obviously, like, he's 6 feet tall and he has a bunch of tall guys in the paint obscuring his vision, tries to scoop it over them, and again, he gets pretty close, ends up getting the offensive rebound anyway, so no harm, no foul. But when we're talking about the projection, that is something I'm thinking about. Certainly, you got to be able to get to the rim for sure, but finishing there as a small guard, and it looks like Phylon is going to end up ripping him here. That's okay. No shame in getting ripped by one of the better point of attack defenders in the draft. Phylon is so good when you don't screen him. See, no screen. Phylon is just going to stay on Pettiford's hip right there, but again, really impressive play by Pettiford, like stopping on a dime to make Phylon kind of go by, right-handed. Again, another right hand. I think it's his third right hand shot attempt and his second right hand make, at least, of what I'm remembering in this game. Just really impressive ability to use his weak hand. And clutch time here, Pettiford isn't able to hit the shot. Let's move on to this next set of clips against Texas A&M. That Alabama set was very, very impressive. Pettiford here just going to work at the top of the key. It looks like he's going to turn the ball over here. Yeah, just like not the greatest decision in terms of like delivery. I like the looping pass over top when there was a defender sliding underneath, but nothing crazy alarming on a turnover like that. As I like to talk about, right? Like, not all turnovers are created equal. Not all assists are created equal. We have to value them as they are. And this Pettiford hitting a deep pull-up three. I don't know why these teams give him space. So they don't have scouting reports on him. You just should not be giving him space. He's going to shoot and he's going to make these shots. I mean, I guess from that deep is another thing. And I guess that is the double-edged sword, right? Like, he is going to take these shots, which even for like the best 27 plus 25 foot three-point shooters, like, it's not always so efficient. But still, I think Pettiford, like, just having the skill is obviously the important thing, right? Like, being able to rein in decision-making, but the fact that he's always going to be able to pressure defenses from well beyond the arc and isn't able to separate here. Pretty good defense, and then just a great contest on that pull-up jumper. The size is going to show up. Even at the college level, you see bigger, taller defenders bother Pettiford shots, and obviously that happens mostly at the basket, where the biggest and tallest defenders usually hang out. But definitely you'll see it sometimes on the jumpers where he just struggles, especially against defensive teams like Texas A&M. Solomon Washington, one of the best defensive players in the country, in my opinion, and a guy who would probably be a first-round pick if he had any semblance of an offensive game. But again, you see Pettiford just like, I think this counted as an assist, hence why it's in this set, because this is only like box score plays. But yeah, I mean, these big, long, really athletic defenders, I think, could definitely give him trouble. And that this is also just like Solomon Washington is a ridiculous defender. But hey, he doesn't travel, ends up picking up an assist on the play, doesn't turn the ball over. As we said, even when he's not creating these advantages, Pettiford's usually not turning the ball over off the dribble, and that is a nasty, nasty step-back jumper. Good way to counter. Washington's been like turning and chasing to guard Pettiford downhill, so instead of like sliding with his hips, he's opening his hips and chasing him, like, you know, sprinting towards the middle. But Pettiford beats that with a quick stop on a dime, step back from range as well. Like, such a ridiculously talented shot creator, and obviously a very good shot maker. Just a very fun player to watch. And gonna pull this three in transition. Maybe a little, maybe a little rich, but he makes it. Don't know if he called glass or not. I'm not watching with sound, but ooh, this is really actually nice. Okay, want to notice Pettiford's body language here. He's just like he's dropping his head. He's not paying attention. Boom, back to the play. Like, it's like little stuff like that I think is important to me. Just because playing off ball, as I've talked about, critical in the NBA, modern NBA, and everyone has to do it unless you're like Giga Megastar, and even then it helps. But yeah, I mean, Pettiford being able to hit step backs like that is obviously going to help. Solid decision here. Like, I think he, right, maybe he could have tried to fit it into Broom, but didn't want to risk it with this defender sitting in the gap. But Pettiford just splashing that three. Point being, I think he has like real instincts for playing off the ball, and he's not just a guy who can stand still in the corner and spot up. Like, he's good at running and shooting off of movement. He can attack off of movement. He's a pretty like decisive and snappy off-ball mover. He does like his deep pull-ups, man. I will say that, and I get it. Like, I would probably like to shoot deep pull-up threes too. And again, just basic decisions against pressure right there. Getting the ball out. Oh, Pettiford is definitely this is like one of the first handling turnovers, maybe the first one we've seen, where I think it's Anderson Garcia just stabs in there and rips it out. Gonna have some. Every player has some, especially against long, athletic, pressuring teams. But Pettiford has one of the best handles in the entire draft. Another bucket, another deep three right there. That's no question, right? Like that's one of his feature skills. Absolutely, is his ability to create advantages with his handle, to handle pressure with the ball, to keep plays alive, and just again, don't love all of these shots for sure. Not a huge fan of the shot selection, but I do tend to think that shot selection can improve. Oh my goodness. How have I not seen these clips? This is crazy. Oh my god. We talk about the right-handed passes. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at this is like the picture when Pettiford is releasing the ball. Like Broom is not that open. There's a double team on him. Pettiford needs to pass into this space, but ahead of the defender who's closing in. Perfect placement. Thankfully, Broom does not blow that. I mean, he has some of the most ridiculous, like, high-level plays out of the pick and roll of pretty much any player in this class, I'd say. And obviously, his size makes it harder to project that to the league. But at some point, to me, it's like, when is just the obvious talent he has with the ball outweighing just another just ridiculous deep three, right? Like, when is the talent with the ball outweighing the physical limitations? I think that's where I land with Tahaad Pettiford, and where I've landed for a while. Like, I don't think he's on the consensus board, but I would take him in the late first round. I think there's a whole number of teams like Orlando, LA, the Clippers could really use a player like him. I think the Wolves could use another guy, even though I may be a little redundant with Rob, but just these kind of, or Houston, I think would be a great landing spot. Like these teams with like defensive infrastructures that have great length, that have great size, and need more offensive juice. Memphis even kind of fits this in a certain way, but Pettiford is just a really, really impressive player. I think we're going to cut the video off here, but thanks everyone for watching. Again, like, subscribe, comment would all be so appreciated. Appreciate the support as always, and let me know what you think about Pettiford and just, the video, and I hope you have a good night or day or whenever you're watching this.